Yes, guys, welcome to Bitcoin Daily, 9 a.m. Central P time on the dollar. We do this show every single day, Monday, Friday, 9 a.m. because we gotta know what's happening, Bitcoin, altcoins, and everything else. We're gonna look at dollar index. We're gonna look at stock markets. It's been dumping yesterday, big time, and we're gonna do a trade. There is still trading daily as well. You know, it's Bitcoin daily, altcoins daily, trading daily, dollar index daily, stock markets daily, and so forth, so forth. Guys, I came to a realization today, and it came as quite a shock to me. Unfortunately for us, bears want lower prices. Yes, I know it's very shocking, but unfortunately, bear wants lower prices so they can take profits, and we're gonna see if they can actually manage to do that. Right now, there is nobody in the chat, almost like there are only 2 people in here, but this is right now TA Fans Club special, and we're gonna keep on doing the TA Fans Club daily every single day. So, you know, if you're here, you're here. If you're not, you're not. This is also gonna go public later today, you know, too late for everybody to, you know, care about the stream, but that's that. I also gonna make a Bitcoin video right after this one, you know, for the public, so there's that. But you're the lucky ones, you get the Bitcoin daily, so there is that. So guys, Bitcoin is still right now down minus 0.3% or something like that. If you look at the daily time frame up here, let's pop some moving averages on the chart. You're gonna see here that yesterday we did break this 20 moving average down here, this red line on the downside, towards the downside, and right now we are hovering just barely above the support line over here. We had higher lows all the time. We still have a higher low over here, but it you know, we are right now sitting on some kind of support down here. Are we gonna bounce towards the upside or not? It kind of depends. Like I said, quite a shock to me. Bears want lower prices. Now if you look at it over here, on this move towards the downside, bear has started, you know, shorting this stop up here. They have been shorting this pump up here. They have been shorting this you know, small pump up here. So I think every kind of bear that's been shorting all the way down towards the downside, they still want to see prices below these levels on the downside down here, because that's where the liquidity is. So I think if we are gonna, you know, have any kind of move towards the upside, maybe, just maybe, we need to get into this zone down here, liquidity zone, where they're gonna take profits, where they're gonna cash out, and then after that we can actually go towards that upside. So my theory on the spring towards the upside up here is still very much valid, because I think the bears that have been shorting all the way towards the downside, they still want to take profits. A lot of them, especially these guys up here, have been taking profits down here. That's fine, but there has also been a lot of buying up here, and there is also becoming in new bears trying to short the price towards the downside. So I think they are expecting these lower prices down here towards the downside, where they actually can take profits, and then we move towards the upsides. Unfortunately for us, there are still a lot of bears in the in the room with us. So are we gonna just pump right now? I don't know, but we are on some kind of bottom right now. We have been on the bottom for a very long time. The question is how long this bottom is gonna last. And will we actually get the spring towards the upside up here, or will just, you know, bounce up here and get a short squeeze towards the upside? Because there is a lot of bears right now still in the space, and if we go towards the upside up here, there will be a short squeeze, or maybe even a shorter capitulation phase up here once we start going towards the upside. And all of these shorters that are shorting all the way towards the downside, they need to get you know, liquidated and stopped out for us actually to, you know, have a decent trend towards the upside. But will we get into this liquidation area? That's the big question. So we're gonna see how this actually plays out. The line that we have been watching for a long time is right now being broken. It goes something like this over here, and you can see down here that we actually broke the line yesterday. Actually, we started breaking it yesterday on the downside. On the daily time frame, it looks still that, you know, this line got broken yesterday over here, but on the 4 hourly it got broken a little bit sooner. The good thing is that we are still not dumping big time on the downside. And I think that's mostly caused by this this level over here at 19k, and 19k is still holding. So we are still holding some kind of support up here, the previous low down here. So we don't have a lower low yet. Maybe when the lower low comes in, maybe then we start you know, seeing lower prices, if that's actually gonna happen. But they are indeed you know, quite what are you gonna say? They are very persistent. Bears are very persistent. They are able to push the price lower. I still think this is some kind of bottom, especially look at it, for example, on the monthly time frame. What you're gonna see here on the monthly time frame is that we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 months of almost entire move towards the downside, beside this one move towards the upside. Previously down here, for example, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 red months in a row without any kind of move towards the upside, and before that we had over here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 moves towards the downside with a small move towards the upside up here. So but you can see down here the bottom actually looks exactly what the bottom is looking right now. That's why I'm always comparing this bottom over here to 2014 bottom, because it does look the same. We had this big capitulation candle on downside, slight move up, and then we had, you know, 3 months of, you know, downtrend. And right now we are having this third month of the downtrend. It's only on the fourth month that we actually started going a little bit up, a little bit down, and then continue towards the upside. So will this actually play exactly as the 2014-2015 bottom? That depends to be seen, but I still think we are at the bottom. And you know, nothing has you know, still changed. And like we said before, there will always be times in this accumulation phase at the bottom where, you know, everybody's calling for 10K, and I see it right now as well. People are still calling for the 10K. People are still saying that we gotta go lower, we gotta, you know, get proper capitulation, we gotta get everybody out, so forth, so forth. But I'm not on that bandwagon just yet. I don't like that we lost the 19.3 line. Where is it? Somewhere up here. I don't like that we lost the 19.3 line down here towards downside. But there are still definitely lines that you can actually draw. You can see up here also on the daily time frame that we lost the line right now. But you know, losing the line and not dumping on the downside is actually a very good thing, right? So we lost the line. If you can actually hold up here and then go towards upside, that's gonna be hugely bullish. You know, that's gonna show that bears are unable to push the price lower. That's gonna be very, very bullish. Let's pop some moving averages up here and see what's actually looking like. You can see also on the two-day time frame up here that we actually are losing all of the moving averages towards downside, but still no problem whatsoever. I mean, there are slight problems, and we know that, you know, bears want to push the price down, but you know, it's still no problem. We are still above the high low down here at 18.8. How much can they push actually the price down? That's we need to see that. I don't like this candle over here, for example, this big engulfing candle below the support down here. We try to, you know, bounce up here. So right now we're coming back to these levels up here, and right now we're getting rejected. But I would say, you know, if we go below 18.8, we might see this, you know, liquidity spring phase towards downside and then right back up again. Are we gonna go all the way down there to, you know, 17.6 again? That depends to be seen. But overall, it doesn't look good. But we are at the bottom. Doesn't look good, but we are on the bottom. So we're gonna see what's actually gonna happen. So over here right now, you know, this can definitely move towards the downside, but you know, we need to see how much bulls have actually, you know, how much power they can actually have and push the price towards the upside. DXY, we've been looking at this DXY for a while right now, especially on the small time frames. I think it's 1 hourly time frame. What you're gonna see here on dollar index right now, we have been expecting this rising wedge to fall to, down to, you know, some kind of you know, $111 or even down to, you know, 110 or even down to 110.0, 110.7, 111, 112. We are expecting this rising wedge to push down. It didn't do that. It fell out of the rising wedge. You can see here right now it's going kind of sideways up here. This is exhaustion phase or, you know, some kind of retest up here towards the upside, toward where it actually fails to get back above the resistance. This is on 1 hourly time frame, so it can play out a little bit towards downside, but you'll see down here there is there is a trend line over here right now that is actually following over here after it went out of this rising wedge, and I think as soon as it starts falling out of this this trend line over here, goes below the levels down here, you can see these tops over here and these bottoms down here, so that's going to be around 112 give or take, and as soon as it goes down below the trend line, below this line down here, I think this is gonna move towards downside. So DXY, and we all know that DXY right now is you know, very much correlated to Bitcoin, or inversely correlated to Bitcoin. So when DXY goes down, Bitcoin goes up. So I do think that this is gonna fall towards downside. Once this does that, I think Bitcoin is gonna pump. Now we just said that bears want a price lower, and the stuff doesn't look good, and everybody thinks it's gonna go, you know, fall down to zero and whatnot, right? But maybe, just maybe, we are holding this support down here, and we're gonna, you know, once the DXY starts falling down, maybe, just maybe, Bitcoin is gonna pump towards the upside. Because if Bitcoin, you know, is supposed to dump towards downside, then DXY needs to, what does the DXY needs to do? DXY needs to explode up here towards the upside, right? That's what it needs to do, right? And right now it does not look like that. So, you know, if DXY is any kind of predictor of what's going to happen with Bitcoin, then we are supposed to pump very shortly, very shortly. So this looks good. Stock markets dumped big time yesterday. They didn't actually dump big time, but, you know, at least in a Norwegian, this is today, right now it's continuing dumping right now over here. Yesterday they dumped a little bit. This is Nasdaq. Let's see up here. We said that there will be divergence. There is big divergence on the downside. You can see here big divergence on the downside down here, like we actually predict. Now divergences are actually leggy indicator, and they don't tell us that, you know, stuff is gonna you know, necessarily change direction, because this can just continue dumping towards downside. The RSI can go down and the divergence will be corrected, but right now it does look like this divergence up here might actually create some kind of you know, double bottom down here, and then break the resistance towards the upside. You also see on the MACD down here on the daily time frame that the MACD is losing steam. So the momentum towards the downside, it's not just that we are having divergence down here at the bottom, the momentum is actually losing pace. So we are in a trend towards downside. You can see these moves down. So you can see here that the momentum has been, you know, greater down here, but it's been lower over here. And right now there is very low momentum. So you can see that momentum is going towards upside while we are going towards downside. So we are going downside, we are losing the momentum, we are creating divergence, we are at some kind of support line down here right now. And, you know, to me, it actually looks like, you know, this will actually reverse and go towards the upside. Norwegian stock market, and I've been following Norwegian stock market because reasons, today is down big time. Today is down big time. We can actually check this on the up here I think that it will pop up here. Let me just see this up here. Yeah, it's down like 2%, something like that, but the wreckage is pretty big. Like there's a lot of you know, stocks right now pretty much down, like, you know, because they have been rallying lately. This is Equinor. This is one of the biggest Norwegian companies. It has been, you know, going up very steadily. I think it's like 20% up or something like that, 16% up. But for the last 2 days, it's been, you know, getting the move towards downside. So everybody's a little bit of fear because they can't read the chart. They don't know what's happening. But we know that this is a normal move, you know, pullback down here. So if you see up here, for example, on the Equinor up here, that we are right now in some kind of support. So even though there is a wreckage in the stock markets, and you can see here also here holding the line up here, which is very nice. You know, the financial newspaper in Norway, they are like, oh, the markets are dumping and everything is bad, but they cannot read the charts. We can actually read the charts. We know that this move towards downside after breaking the resistance towards the upside is actually quite good. You can see up here we are still holding the support up here on the moving averages. Everything looks nice and dandy. So I think this will actually correct itself, and it will actually go towards the upside. And of course, you can see, of course, on our Nasdaq we got a big divergence. This is Dow Jones. Dow Jones doesn't have yet that divergence on the downside. But if it did fall down through this move towards downside, there would have been big divergence. Now the Nasdaq is actually holding this support line down here. Still without any kind of divergence, so, you know, sorry, not Dow Jones is holding divergence, so, you know, we'll actually bounce over here. And S&P 500, I think it has a slight divergence up here. Let's see up here. At least it's creating it right now. Yeah, slight divergence up here, but it's already, if it continues dumping down here, you know, the divergence will be real. So we already got the divergence on some kind of bottoms, right? And will this actually continue all the way down here and, you know, avoid divergence? That's a big question, but it does look good now, right now. So we got the DXY, the dollar index, wants to dump down. We see that, you know, Bitcoin looks bad and everybody in fear and it wants to go up. We see right now that stock market right now it's kind of bottoming, you know, having a hard time pushing towards downside. I think there is a chance for a bigger rally to go to upside. Captain is in the chat finally. Yeah, you are alone. No, Sinister is in the chat as well. We got 4 people watching, but you know, that's the life of the Fans Club dailies right now. So you know, that's what we got, you know. But you know, these streams will fill up once I, you know, get them to going on the 9 a.m. Central European time on the dollar, and you know, we get into the bull market. So there is that. But you know, you are the lucky ones. If you wonder about anything, you can ask. I'll check anything for you. So you see right now, you know, I'm not that worried. I'm not that worried. Everything looks okay. Yes, we are breaking the sports, and you know, bears want the price lower. Now they're coming out to play. Yeah, as soon as they see Captain. Link. Okay, we can check out Link as well. Let's see up here. We just done with this over here. So what's happening with Chainlink up here? -2% towards downside. Let's go to the weekly time frame. Link has this, you know, consolidation phase up here. You can see it, you know, if you have eyes, you can see it immediately, right? There's some kind of triangle up here. It will break towards upside and downside. Up here it was holding, then went below, tried to go up, right now back down. But I think it might have another move towards downside down here, you know, which it doesn't impress, you know, Bitcoiners, you know, 10% down. I don't think so. Let's see up here. Let's remove a little bit moving averages up here. Just see if you can draw a nice, you know, triangle up here or something like that. Maybe something like this, give or take. So you can see here, it can fall down a little bit more down here, something like, you know, 3-4% towards downside, maybe hit that. There's definitely, you know, some kind of line up here, maybe a little bit lower. And the top side up here, you got some kind of line over here at the top. Something like this, maybe a little bit differently up here. Give or take. Something like this. Maybe some kind of big, you know, big triangle up here happening up here. But then you got this line up here at the top. Maybe something like this. You know, this is the biggest triangle. So, you know, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where it breaks out. But, you know, it can still continue going. This is a 2-day chart, so this can still continue going until end of the October up here. But you know, until end of October, it will either break towards upside, downside. If you start breaking on the downside, you know, Bitcoin will also be looking terrible, and if that happens, you know, it can go. But right now we are coming very close to, you know, the support line on downside is like 5% towards downside, and the resistance line up here is around 15% towards upside. So we are getting into the area down here where it is more, what do you say? It is more likely to long it up here than actually short it, right? Because shorting is below, you know, shorting is up here on the resistance somewhere, right? But right now you're not the resistance. I would say that anybody shorting right now is, you know, wrong in doing so, because you're not below the support line. So you have, you know, some kind of 4% move towards downside if something should happen to hit this line on the downside, and then it's only after you break on the downside that actually this actually can, you know, be shorted. And check XRP, I added to my long. You added more to your long, XRP. Yeah, XRP is doing this move towards downside. Last time we looked at this, we said that, you know, this looks like exhaustion pattern towards upside, especially on a little bit different time frames, like this over here. So this was a big impulsive move towards upside, and then you go into this exhaustion pattern, and then you break towards downside, you go below the support line down here, and you consolidate down here, something like 33, something like that. I don't know. So will this just continue towards upside? I'm a little bit unsure about that. I gotta tell you the truth, I'm a little bit unsure about that. But then I've been wrong before. I think there is some kind of trend line up here, and right now we're losing 10 to 20 moving average on the daily, but we still haven't lost it. Like if you look at them 4 hourly down here, there is some kind of line up here. Maybe there is a better line up here, something like this. And right now we are coming to this support up here, so maybe it's gonna bounce up here before it actually breaks on the downside, because this option over here got broken. This option is already broken up here. You can see up here there was an option up here, it got broken, retest up here, and then dumped on the downside. So right now you're holding this support line, so you are on the support, but if you start losing support, you might be looking at these levels on the downside down here around 200 moving average as well, once it starts going towards the downside. But right now it looks like some kind of support. New bears, broken support, Dow falling, not a lot of good going on today. It doesn't have to be good. The worse it is, the better it is for us. I'm linked long, I am doing great. I'm gonna show you how I am doing, and you're gonna feel better about yourself once you see how I'm doing. DGB, let's say check out DGB up here on the daily time frame. DGB is just smashing it through the supports. Let's go to the weekly support line up here. It already smashed through the support. You see here, it had a big move towards downside below the support level, 3 weeks on sideways, and right now continuing towards downside. So let's see up here on the daily time frame over here. The bottom on this move down here was at 901, and it actually broke that yesterday, and right now it's continuing towards downside. Do we have any kind of divergence, anything like that right now? Let's go 2-day time frame up here. Down here there is no divergence on this up here. The only thing we have right now is that momentum is decreasing. Momentum has been decreasing on these 2 moves over here without any kind of divergence, and there is still no divergence on the chart over here, but the momentum has been decreasing right now. It looks like it might actually fall through. It doesn't look that strong. Again, it all depends on what Bitcoin does, because if Bitcoin does something nice, you might get one of these weeks on the downside over here. Weeks on downside, just continue towards the upside. It needs to break certain levels to be bullish. And that level over here is something like this up here, give or take. It's always give or take, but I think something like this up here. So this is a downtrend over here. It's still in the downtrend. And the bottom support line is something like this. Maybe some kind of falling wedge that we didn't notice up here on DGB. Up here, maybe something like this, give or take. You can see here, so you can definitely do another move down here into this area over here before it actually goes towards upside. So everything is right now speaking that there will be some kind of spring towards that downside, but it doesn't have to be. It can actually it went up here, double bottom down here, and then a breakout. But this line, if this wants any kind of move towards upside, it needs to break this line, and right now it's still in the downtrend. So there is that. Explain exhaustion pattern. So let me I can explain to you that. So you know how the bear flags and bull flags working out, right? So you got some kind of move towards upside, and then the bear flag usually flags towards downside, right? You come to some kind of top, and then you have this selling going on, right? And this is very nice because, sorry, this is not the bear flag, bull flag. So you go towards upside, and you got and then you come, and then you got this bull flag towards downside. Bull flags don't go towards upside, they go towards the downside. So there has been a lot of buying, and then they start selling, but this actually shows that people are not euphoric about the price, right? They are selling and the price goes down, and that's fine. That means that the euphoria still didn't kick in. So this is actually very nice. So we like bull flags because that can break towards upside. Euphoria hasn't kicked in. We hit some kind of support on downside. The selling has been happened, and the price continues towards the upside. This is a bull flag. Bull flags always goes towards downside, and of course bear flags always go towards upside. Bear flags never go into upside direction, and bull flags never go into upside direction, right? Now I'm calling when the price right now is going towards upside, and you get an exhaustion pattern. That means you get this this bull flag that people are calling towards the upside. This is exhaustion pattern. So selling is already happening, but it's happening in an uptrend. The selling is happening in an uptrend, but the reason it's happening in uptrend because there is so much buying happening. So people are, the people that bought down here, they are actually selling, but people are stupid, and they are buying the tops, right? They're buying the tops, and this is exhaustion pattern, right? There is too much bullishness. People are still jumping in, and the price is still moving towards upside. Well, this should actually have gone towards downside because it's some kind some kind of, you know, people are normally selling, but instead of going towards downside or going in some kind of consolidation phase over here, it's going actually towards upside. So moving towards upside after some kind of very big move towards upside, where you would expect some kind of selling to happen, it doesn't happen. It continue going to, that's exhaustion pattern. So if you see here, for example, on Bitcoin, let me go to the Bitcoin chart up here for a second, on daily chart. Over here, you'll see the same kind of type of exhaustion pattern. So this over here was a positive move in some kind of consolidation up here, and that's normal because we came up, you know, some kind of profits were taken. Then we had a big move towards upside with a move down, with a you know, a falling wedge towards upside, which is also some kind of bull flag, right? And we continue towards upside. But over here we actually continue going towards upside. This is exhaustion pattern. Like we come to, you know, we come to some kind of very top, some kind of euphoria happen, so people are actually selling, but price is still going towards upside. That's exhaustion pattern, and this happens a lot of times. And I'm going to show you, for example, on let's start with the Dogecoin up here. I'm going to show you these exhaustion patterns because this is very easy to see. You can see here big moves has happened towards downside. We had the move down, but this is a little bit different exhaustion pattern, but it does happen so often that it's easy to see. See, big move up, move down, and then, you know, people start selling, but price still explodes towards the upside, and then it does this move towards the upside. So big move up, and then it does this up here. So it goes up and does this move. It doesn't do like, you know, this move, but it does, you know, big fast move down and then continues going towards the upside over here. So this over here exhaustion pattern up here, this or down here exhaustion pattern. And right now on XRP is also, we have this I call it exhaustion pattern because after a big move towards upside, the profits, you know, the sellers are still selling, but the price is still continuing to moving towards upside big time. So where is it up here? XRP up here. It's not exactly the same because this isn't any kind of, you know, short-term bear flag where it continues towards the upside. You know, explode towards the upside, move down, and right now it goes up. This can be seen easier on, I think, a 2-day time frame. It exploded towards the upside, moved down, and then it has this exhaustion pattern up here towards the upside. Of course, there is also divergence on the chart down here. I can show you. There is a big divergence on the chart up here as well. Let's see up here. Momentum is also going towards the downside. You can see here momentum is also going towards the downside. So people are buying, but momentum is going, so people are buying up here towards upside, but momentum is going down, the RSI is going down. So this over here is exhaustion pattern. So these exhaustion patterns at the top, right? Because people are so, and you see euphoria, you've seen euphoria in XRP lately, right? It blows up like everybody's like XRP, right? And we hit some kind of top ups up here, but there is still so much buying, so much hopium going on that this goes into this exhaustion pattern. And once, you know, exhaustion pattern, you know, comes to an end, then this pulls back, you know, for whatever reason. And I don't know how long, but I think it might go below 44. It kind of depends what's going to happen. Maybe some new news comes, a new hype comes in, but right now the way this looks like, it exhausts up a little bit. So I wouldn't like, you know, XRP falling below 44, something like that. It's a good time to short XRP. The good time to short XRP is at the end of these exhaustion phases, right? The good times are like over here at the top was good time to short XRP, right? Or over here at the top, when you see this, you know, these moves towards the upside after, but you need these impulsive moves. You need these impulsive moves for this to be valid, right? So any kind of, you know, slow moves towards the upside, you know, that's not what you're looking. You're looking for this explosive move towards upside, and then after this move to see this exhaustion phase, it's either some kind of, you know, bull flag towards upside, which is not a bull flag, right? And bull flag towards upside is a quick move down where the price, you know, stabilizes itself and does another move towards upside. This over here is exhaustion phase, but it always comes after these impulsive moves, right? It always comes after these impulsive moves, and this exhaustion phase usually fades down, and then once it goes below these lows down here, you have this kind of, you know, some kind of capitulation phase, right? So some kind of capitulation phase down here. The capitulation phase can be on all charts, Thank you. Sol, please. Oh, I was always an XRP. I was already an XRP. I forgot. Okay, let's check out Solana as well. Solana, where is Solana right now? Up here on the charts. Bitcoin 0.25, nothing is happening. I can find Solana. Wait. Down here, there is Solana. Solana is doing the same thing as Bitcoin is doing. It's, you know, holding the support on the downside, whatever this is right now. You see down here, it is actually very nice support lines. Down here you can see down these 3 levels, 1, 2, 3 levels, horizontal levels on the weekly time frame. I mean, right now it's hit this this bottom down here on the dollar, 31.1. But it just consolidating, just consolidating. This doesn't. You see here, can we change this up here towards the upside? If you invert the chart a little bit, you had this impulsive move towards the upside. Try to break down. You try to break down second. This is a third try to break this towards the upside, and we are not creating lower lows. We are creating actually higher highs. This inverted the chart. So if this starts breaking these lows up here, it can actually continue going towards the upside. It can actually continue because there is no exhaustion pattern up here. Over here, exhaustion pattern works a little bit differently than this over here. This kind of just looks like a bear flag. Sorry, a bull flag. Technically bear flag that actually breaks. So you know, bulls needs to hold these levels and bounce off this, because if this dumps down, you know, you might see these kind of lows down here again. You might see the lows, guys. So everything, I think everything right now, like number one, everything is dependent on Bitcoin, but Bitcoin is hugely dependent on what's happening with the dollar index, and the dollar index right now, I feel it's on the way towards downside. So although everything looks like a short, I wouldn't be shorting, because if this jumps down, everything pumps, right? Mladen, you late, šta ima lepi? Nema ništa, samo se tu zezamo se malo. And so, I'm a little bit unsure whether this is gonna dump the downside. So I still want to do longs, but I figured out something, guys. I figured out something. And if you remember, we did the 400 million trading, and in the first month it went good, because we were actually shorting everything. We are shorting and we're doing well, right? We're shorting and doing well. And then at one point we stopped shorting and we start longing. And once we start longing everything and shorting at the wrong times, it didn't work out so well. So I think right now it's still time to short stuff instead of longing stuff. Although we are looking for some kind of move towards upside. This actually looks like it could go to 28k up here. Oh, sorry, this is logarithmic chart. Logarithmic chart, I haven't been looking at logarithmic chart for a long time, because Mladen told me not to look at logarithmic chart, so I stopped looking at logarithmic chart. But if you look at a logarithmic chart up here, this can actually go all the way up to some kind of 27k over here, still be fine. 44% towards upside up here. Some lattice up here, up here, and then go down again. Maybe we're gonna do logarithmic move towards upside. It's a long time since I looked at the logarithmic chart. Like if you look at a log chart over here. Sorry, log chart over here. Sorry, regular chart. And the line that actually fits it the best. You see that we are actually above the line. And right now we're just kind of hugging. But this hugging is not actually a good thing. This hugging is not actually a good thing, because it just shows the weakness, and then you just go like this, and then up. We broke it, but we didn't break it. So if we want any kind of move towards the upside, we need to get it back above these levels up here, and then blast through. So a little bit unsure whether that's gonna happen. But I like the logarithmic chart, because logarithmic chart is full of hope. Logarithmic chart is full of hope, because there is so much room. We didn't break nothing, and we need to get back to this line over here. Let's see if we can draw a nice line. It's a long time since I looked at logarithmic chart. See up here. Wow, that's nice. It's not so nice, but it could be nicer. Maybe something like this. I'm going to rewatch the stream, no problem. It's not so exciting. It's not so exciting, but you're welcome. And I still want to do long positions, but I'm a little bit unsure about that. I didn't sleep well. I actually slept very well, but I slept long time. And I got other stuff to do. So I'm a little bit unsure whether we're gonna do a trade today. I think we're gonna do a trade tomorrow. So there's that. So we're gonna end the stream a little bit early today. 43 minutes in. We're gonna end a little bit early today. I gotta do you know, a Bitcoin video for YouTube and stuff like that, and got some other stuff to do. So there is that. I hope you will like the stream. Guys, the title of today's video, public video, is gonna be shocking. Bears want prices bears want lower prices. That's gonna be the title. Shocking. Bears want lower prices. So there's that. Tila, how does you do work that Matic trade, brother? Matic trade went okay. I closed that 30% long time ago, but after that, you know, we kind of got wrecked big time on a lot of other stuff. You can see up here. I don't think I have any trade, but because right now we went long and everything got wrecked yesterday, so there is no trades right now going on. Our account is at 247. It was at 300 when we started, so there is that. And you can see here, Chiliz got wrecked on Chiliz yesterday, got wrecked on RSR yesterday, got wrecked on Sand eventually. Had one decent Bitcoin trade up here, and then, you know, wrecked, decent, wrecked, decent, wrecked. So you can see here that we got more wrecked than decent trades. That's the only trade I was in that day. Good for you, good for you. Matic trade, where is our match? That match? Yeah, the Matic trade was okay, but everything else is, you know, crap. Doesn't matter, guys. Doesn't matter. We're gonna make it eventually, right? We're gonna make it eventually. Anyways, guys, I appreciate all the 5-6 people that were in the chat today. Actually, 13 people came in the chat, but you know, I appreciate everybody, you know, and it's, you know, it's the streams are for you guys. The streams are for you guys, and for me, So I'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place, 9 AM Central European time on the dollar. Okay. Okay. Also, join KuCoin if you didn't join KuCoin. We appreciate you. We appreciate you too, Captain. Bye bye. Thanks. You're welcome. Join KuCoin, guys. There is not a lot of time left until the, you know, bull market, you know, it's full swing and everybody starts FOMOing. See you later.